going on outside the door here. Find out. We're gonna find out what happens. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see the little circle going around and around that's supposed to tell me that something is happening, but I don't know what is happening, if indeed something is happening. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Hello. Hello. My goodness. All right, so if this is actually working, I don't know. I'm trying to find out from my other screen here, and my other screen is being difficult. It's not showing me anything. I must know whether this is working or not. I must know. I've got my message that says, okay, let's do this, but that's all I know at the moment. All right, you know what? Just hold that thought. Oh, there we go. This looks promising. There we go. Okay, it's actually working now, so I know that it's working. First of all, I'm wearing the Internet of Things is always watching, listening, recording shirt today. So you know, it's not a show about the Internet of Things. It just happens to be what I'm doing at the moment. Hey, if you are on, please take a moment to drop in and say hello. And of course, I'm going to pour myself some wine before we actually get going here, because you know it's one of those things I do. It's one of those things that I do. And let me. Actually, the construction noises seem to have let up slightly out there, so I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope this works. All right, I'm gonna do the. Let me see. I'm going to transition over here, and I don't know. Should I put my silly face in the corner? Like, is there any place for my silly face in the corner of this thing? I'll think about it. Okay, there we go. Transition. So I'll leave it in there. But we're going to do the introduction, okay? Let's do the introduction. Where is the introduction? The introduction is here. That's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to minimize the screen here. Oh, hey, listen. Actually, let me not minimize the screen. Let me go back to the big window here for a second. Okay. All right. You're going like, you know, dude, get on with it. But seriously, trust me, you want to see this because I promised that I would show you this. Okay. You ready for this? I don't know how many of you who either are listening at this very moment or will listen at some future time or watch at some future time. But if you've ever read the book Dune by Frank Herbert, I've shown this off on Twitter. There you go. It's a Dune crysknife, and it's based on the 1984 David Lynch film Dune crysknife. Isn't that cool? Don't you love that? It's just plastic, so you know you can. It doesn't. You know, you're not going to get terribly hurt by it, but there you go. There you go. I said I would show it, you know, to some people there. It's like, I would show you my crysknife. I will show you my crysknife. All right. All right, listen, today we're going to talk about music players because, believe it or not, in the news, whoops, let me see, in the news, that's not it. In the news, there's been this story about WinAmp returns. WinAmp returns in 2019 to whip the llama. There's a headline that people pay for. People pay for headlines like this. Well, they don't just pay for it, but... Oh, man, I love that. Whip the llama. Anyway, there you go. So that's the story. WinAmp is returning, the venerable old Windows media player. And to that end, I thought it would be fun to do some WinAmp stuff. Not because I want to cover WinAmp specifically, but there were actually a bunch of media players in the... I'm going to minimize this and get it out of the way. There are a bunch of media players that exist in the Linux world. And I wanted to cover some that look a little bit like... you know, WinAmp. And then you're looking at this one and you're going, dude, this doesn't look anything like WinAmp. What are you talking about? What's going on? And by the way, if you're on, please say hi. And, you know, share the love. Tell other people that we're on at the moment. So, you know. But you say, dude, this doesn't look anything like WinAmp. And I say, well, it sort of doesn't look anything like WinAmp. In fact, you know, I can, let's do it. Whoa, that was, that's actually, maybe I shouldn't actually be trying to play anything at the moment here. Let me see, output. I do not want that to go through my speakers here. Actually, that's going to be a problem with me wanting to play things because it's trying to play through. I hope I didn't blow my my microphone here by doing that at the moment. But let me see. You're supposed to be muted. And why are you going on the H4 thing, which is of course my microphone here? Let's go into the audio volume settings and let's say that applications. I do not. I want this to be the default. Okay, so let's try it again. Ah, much better, much better. Okay, so now it's playing and it's not blowing. It's not, you know, making my microphone go completely hairy here. So we've got this, by the way, is Audacious. Audacious is one of the Linux music players, and I went and pulled a whole bunch of albums. These days, I tend to use. I've got a Google Play unit sitting over there, and oh, I'm still hearing that. Oh, that's because the volume's up. I got to turn down the volume. I've got a Google Play, not Google Play, Google Home unit, and I use Play Music, or I guess YouTube Music these days, to listen to most of my stuff anyway. But I've got like tons of CDs in the basement, which are all boxed up now because I haven't looked at them in 2.5 years. But all those CDs, I ripped like, I don't know how many of them, but I ripped tons of them, and I used to have them all sitting on my PC here. And for the sake of doing this, for this, you know, this blast from the past thing, I decided that I would copy a bunch of them over to my PC again from my NAS in the basement, and we could take a look at you know, these WinAmp look type music players. Now, there was one called XMMS, which was a skinnable music player, but XMMS hasn't been around for a while. It has, I mean, you could probably still download the source and try to make it, but it isn't showing up in any repositories. This one, however, does, and it's called Audacious. And like I said, it doesn't look like it, but that's because the default setting is a GTK interface. You see that over here, the GTK interface? All right, the GTK interface is can be changed to the WinAmp Classic interface. And here, this is the default. I should probably show you the default before I go showing you all the other strange things here. But let's go to things like let me see here. We'll go my EQ. So there we go. We can pop up the equalizer below this thing here, and we can also bring up the playlist. So there's a button here for the playlist, and there you go. So now Audacious looks actually looks an awful lot like XMMS, to be honest, but it also looks like WinAmp, classic WinAmp. And what's neat about this is, you know, I can obviously muck about with the levels here and make this thing look any way that I want. But what's also neat is that I can skin this thing to look any way I want. And for example, I downloaded this one here, which is a Zelda, you know, the Legend of Zelda. So I downloaded the Zelda skin. So there we go. So there's the default tiny player. That's there are a couple of them, as you can see. We've got the classic skin. These are all ones, by the way, that are installed by default. So you've got the classic Audacious skin, classic 1.3. You've got the default one. The default one, like I said, is the one that looks a lot like classic XMMS. Ivory, Osmosis, Refugee from what? Tiny player, and Zelda. Okay, now, like I said, all the ones above Zelda come with Audacious, and you switch between the GTK interface over here and the WinAmp Classic interface, okay? So this is how we do it. So how do we get other skins? Well, let's go find out. Over here, what am I doing here? This is don't save. It's like, you know, these are reminders for me. Marcel, you must remember to do these things here. So let's not go here yet. Let's go here instead. Okay, WinAmpHeritage.com/skins. WinAmpHeritage.com. WinAmp. I'm going to take a sip of my wine here. Excuse me for a second. And this one looks over here. Unison Brainstorm version 5. Let's try that one, shall we? Let's try that one. So I'm going to click that, and it says download skin. Yeah, I know you use cookies. I got it. Download skin, and I'm just going to click that. So Unison Brainstormed is going down to the welcome to my heritage, the site of Great WinAmp. Did I not just do that? Okay, hang on a second. Let's try that again, shall we? Download skin, right-click, save as. do I have to? There it goes. I'm gonna say it's called Unison Brains. Remember that? Everybody remember Unison. What's it called? Somebody tell me. Unison Brains. There we go. So appearance. Sorry, I'm gonna open up my console here, and I'm gonna go to this. Okay. So how do we do that? How do we change the skin on Audacious? Well, you do it like this. Excuse me. I have a bit of a stuffy nose, so I apologize for that up front. All right, so you go to .local/share/audacious. Now, Audacious may not already exist, so you may have to create that one. And so, in fact, what you may have to do is this. So if I go ... and there's going to be a bunch of things, but I get mkdir audacious. Whoops. You might want to do -p audacious skins with a capital S. Okay, that's what you have to do. So if I go to audacious, cd audacious, there's a directory here called skins. And if I go to the directory called skins, you'll see that I have my Zelda amp in there. So all I want to do, what was that skin? Somebody remind me, what was that called? It was called Unison brainstormed. All right, so I'm going to go cp ~/downloads Unison brainstormed, and I'm going to go here. All right, so now if I minimize this, and I go to appearance, I'll go visualization here, a visual type analyzer, general. All right, so I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to go back into the settings again. Okay, so go back into the settings, and I'm going to go settings, and there you go. Now I have Unison Brainstorm V5. And just like that, I have reskinned my Audacious. I like this one, actually. This is kind of cool. It looks a little steampunkish, doesn't it? It looks a little steampunkish. I like it. I like it. I have reskinned that. So let's do that one more time, just so that we've got it down pat. So let's go, and I'll say X over here, and I'm going to go back to my collection over here, and let's find another one. What looks interesting? Hoop Life Modern. Oh yeah, here's one with a weird Overdrive 2. All right, featured skin October 31st, 2002. Well, that looks interesting. Updated for compliance with WinAmp 5. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works, because this isn't like, a square. This is like, a weird thing. All right, download skin, and I'm going to say overdrive 2.wall. I don't know if this one will work, because it's not, it's not your classic XMMS skin, but let's find out, shall we? Let's find out. We're finding out together, because that's kind of the whole point of this without a net thing. We get to discover things together, right? Right? Right. All right, so, oh, sorry, what was that thing called? It was called Overdrive. Okay, so CP downloads, let's do the same thing here. Oops. Overdrive.wall. I don't know if this will work. I don't know if this will work at all. We'll find out, because it's not the same format. It's not like a zipper W3Z. But let's check it out here. Okay, we're gonna go back into settings, and it's not there. It's not there. Okay, so the WinAmp 5 ones don't work. We tested it here, and it doesn't work. Too bad, because that's kind of a cool one. I would like to try that one. All right, media. Demon 5. What do we got here? Stylish. Let's go with stylish for a category. Stylish. Remnant. Purple Glow V2. Slick Redux. Which one do you want? What shall we do? What shall we do? Which one should we do here? Let's do X Energy 1. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. WinAmp skin download. Let's see if it's the right format. No, it's a wall, so it's later. Okay, so we can't do walls. We can't do walls. We have to do classic skins. All right, let's go with Purple Glow. Actually, let's do Remnant. Remnant looks like something from Alien. All right, what about this one? What about this one? It's a Remnant WSZ. I said W3Z. I was wrong. It's WSZ. I apologize. Okay, so I've got my Remnant WSZ here. Hold on while what is it? Alien Organic Meshed Mayhem. I was right. It does look like Alien, doesn't it? Looks like something from the movie Alien. All right, so let's close that, and we're going to do that one more time by opening up the console here in the .local share audacious skins, and we're going to cp tilde downloads. Oh, okay. Man, I can't believe I forget like 30 seconds later what it was. Remnant. R-E-M-M. Remnant. Dot. All right. Again, I apologize for the stuffy nose. It's just one of those days. What can I say? All right. Okay, so we've got that. So let's drop this back down here. And let's go over to settings. And now, oh, there it is. Remnant. Remnant. Beautiful. Oh, wait a minute. Did the other one just show up in a different place that I didn't notice? No, it did not. It did not. Okay. So it's definitely not. There you go. Remnant. Something out of the movie Alien. Is that cool or what? Come on. That's cool. That is really cool. Okay. Hang on a second here. I'm just testing something out on the other side here. Hold on. Hold on. You can watch this for a second. And hang on, hang on. We're doing this. We're doing this. And what is wrong here? I am sorry. I'm having some issues with this working the way I want it to. Okay. All right. So let's minimize this guy here. And let's go back to another type of player. So I'm going to stop this one here by clicking in the corner and going quit. Okay, so that was Audacious. Audacious is kind of cool that way. Another one which is skinned right off the bat is QMMP. QMMP audio player. This is what it looks like by default. And I'm just going to hit the play button on this one here. And there we go. It is playing some music, and it's got a little tiny visualization bar sitting over here as well. And this one is also skinnable, but it looks a little bit different, and it works a little bit differently. Let me show you what I mean by that. So visualization, sorry, not visualization, settings. Settings. And you'll notice in here that what I've done is I've got the glare, which is the default, but I also installed the Zelda skin that I used on Audacious, okay? So, but here, instead of having to open up a terminal window and copying it into the folder, excuse me, I've copied it into the folder, you can just click Add, and at this point we go Downloads, and let me see, what was that one? Unison Brainstorm. That was the other one that we tried there, and I'm going to say Open, and Unison Brainstormed, and now just like that, boom, we got a new skinned music player. And honestly, I'm not sure which one of these I like best. I like the default appearance. I kind of like the GTK appearance, like the big window appearance of Audacious. But in terms of skinning, in fact, let's do them both together here just so we can take a look and see if there's a difference, shall we? Audacious, A-U-D-A, Audacious Music Player, Audacious Music Player. There we go. And I'm going to skin this one back to the same thing to see if they look, how different they look here. So let's go back to settings, and I'm going to go back to Unison Brainstorm. I'm going to say closed. All right, and now obviously I've got more things in the first one here, which is QMMP. QMMP has got more things. Sorry, let me rephrase that. QMMP has less things. And remember, you can actually move these modules around. So the fact that you see them in that order doesn't really mean much of anything. You can make this look any way that you want, like anything that you want. Anyway, I'm trying to decide if there's any difference, but I think that I find this one a little bit cleaner in the way that it's presenting itself. I'm not sure if that's true, but to me anyway, it looks a little bit more like that's the way it is. Interesting, the little piano keys. Oh, cool. You touch the piano keys, touch the piano keys. Oh, neat. All right, well, that's very interesting. Okay, so there you go. We have two music players, and using exactly the same the same WinAmp skins, but they do look different. Does this show the cover? Ah, this does not show the cover if I pause over it. Audacious does seem to have a a more feature-rich aspect to it. So even though the other one might look better, I'm probably going to go with Audacious as the one to go with. Okay, I want to show you one other music player, and then we're going to go into our Linux distribution you've never heard of before. Hey, Linux distribution I've never heard of before. And the one we're going to take a look at is this one here. And actually, let me just close down Audacious here. I want to show you this one because last week I showed you a music player called Elisa, and I showed it to you because somebody said, what is there to replace Amarok? And I didn't have anything, but I ran across this one today. Okay, this is a music player called, and I cannot for the life of me pronounce, I know I can't pronounce this, Guayadique. If somebody actually knows how this is pronounced, please let me know. But I'm going to go quiet. Guayadique. And one of the things that my friend who asked the question said that he was going to be missing out on is, aside from having a really good interface that can manipulate things, let you set up playlists, all these sorts of things, which this one does very, very nicely. The other thing that he wanted was a way to randomize the playlist. And this music player, Guayadique, let me try that again, Guayadique, does allow you to randomize the playlist, as you can see there. See, I'm getting it, I'm getting it moving in whatever list. There we go. And of course, it can pull in lyrics for whatever it is that you are listening to. I love this one. This is actually a really cool music player. And it seems to be updated on a regular basis, so that's something that's still available at the moment. Hey, we can even use TuneIn Radio, which I happen to love. I use TuneIn Radio on a regular basis, so this is actually pretty cool. The lyrics engine looks cool. I like this one, and I only discovered this one today. So anyway, Guayadique, and let me go to the help here, about. Right here, guayadique.org. If you want to actually install this one, to download and install this one, you're going to have to go to the website. I did not find this, for instance, in my Ubuntu repositories. It wasn't there. But it's worth the trip to, let's do this again, people. It's worth the trip to guayadique.org, because this is actually a really, really cool music player. It works well. It sounds great. I like the way that it organizes things, and for smart mode enabled. Repeat. Oh, there we go. That's so cool. I love that. There we go. And we've got an equalizer that we can set up here, and we can create presets for it. I do still love using an equalizer. It's one of those things that goes back to my days of being a disc jockey, and and of course having my own pretty good stereo equipment in the house. I always wanted to set things to the way that I wanted to listen to. These are all things I don't do anymore, but it's nice to know that the software actually does have those things if you want to set that up. So there you go. Hold on tight to your dreams by ELO. Strange Magic. This is actually from their Best Of collection, 2 CD Best Of collection. Anyway, there you go. So that is my look at music players. Again, Audacious and QMMP are music players that you can skin like WinAmp. And of course, WinAmp is in the news now because, well, I showed it to you, right? People are chatting about WinAmp coming back to the world there. So it's if you want to take that little trip down memory lane and use all sorts of cool skins, this is a way to do it. This is really neat. I like it. You should check it out. Anyway, let me see here. Let me minimize that, and I believe that, actually, let me just close that. Actually, let me stop the music. There we go. And I'm going to go over here to our Linux distribution of the day. No, it's not Neon, because we did Neon last week. I just haven't deleted it from here. The Linux distribution of the day that you've never heard of is this one here, Linufix. I've never heard of Linufix. I can honestly say I've never heard about it. There's Linufix is classified into Linufix Enterprise and Linufix Decentralized. Linufix Enterprise is dedicated to centralized fintech and payment backend services. I don't know how or why, but it is. While Linux Decentralized enjoys a strong presence in the world of blockchain and decentralized computing. So just for the heck of it, I haven't looked at this yet, but I've downloaded it. So just for the heck of it, let's take a look at Linux Decentralized and see what this thing looks like, okay? Shall we? Linux decentralized. Let's create ourselves a new virtual machine. Forward, linufix. Remember that name, linufix. And I go to ISOs. There's my linufix. Choose volume. Forward. We're going to give this thing 2048. We're just going to give it 2 gig of RAM. I could give it more than that. I have 12 gig on this machine, a 20 gig drive, and we're actually going to call it linufic. And apparently this is the blockchain focused version. And I don't know what that means. Well, I know something about blockchain, but I don't know how a Linux distribution is. Let's go do the live, shall we? We won't do the installation. We'll just do the live and have a look at it and see what this thing looks like, shall we? Let me do the Alt and move that up with the idea that we want to get as much screen as possible here. Get as much screen as possible. All right. Oh, I love text start screens. Cheers, by the way. Cheers. Have another sip here. All right. All right. We are booting. We are booting. Things are happening. I know things are happening. I have faith that things are happening. There we go. There we go. Interesting. This is a Debian-based distribution, by the way, and let's just take a look and see what this thing comes with. Linux for Financial Information Exchange. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. Let me see. File manager. Are we using Kaja here? Is this what this is? Let me see. Where's the menu here? I don't know. Is this Kaja? This kind of looks Kaja-ish, but I'm not sure now. Let's go back to applications. Applications, actually, let's close this file manager here. And let's go back over here. So, applications, favorites. Favorites, we've got a LibreOffice Writer, Impress software. I don't see anything that specifically jumps out at me. It says financial stuff. Crusader. I got to remember what Crusader is. Now be checked configurator Crusader. I forget what Crusader is. Crusader. Searching for tools. Make sure that you have tools in your... let me see. Crusader. I don't remember what Crusader does. I'll have to take a look at that. Help. What does Crusader do? Help. Let me see the URI Crusader. No package information for this. All right. We can't do that at the moment. But let's go to games. Sudoku, I guess, because financial types like to do things with numbers, I'm guessing. Weather app, graphics, Shotwell, GNU, Chromium, Office, again, the LibreOffice stuff. I'm not seeing anything that jumps out at me and says that this is, financially LibreOffice Math for Science System Tools. Nothing here jumps out at me and says that this is specifically related to either blockchain or financial stuff or whatever. It looks like a fairly nice, clean Linux distribution. Let's do software and updates here just for fun. But nothing jumps out at me and says fintech. I mean, I could be wrong, but nothing does. Searching for Packers. Okay, I'm just going to say okay here because I have no idea what we're doing with this. Crusader settings. All right, Crusader, creating your own Crusader. It's just like, I forget what Crusader is. It's been so long, no text editor available. Oh, that's what it is. It's like MC, it's like Midnight Commander. It's a file manager to move things back and forth between two sites. I totally forgot about this app. I forgot that it existed. I used to like this quite a bit at one time. I just obviously haven't used it for a long time. And there we go. We've got the hot corners up here to bring everything back up on the system. Impress software. Let's just click software here again. And again, nothing here jumps out and says to me blockchain or fintech. So I don't know. It's let's just go into utilities here, and let me just open a terminal window. Let me see, system tools. Are we in system tools for a terminal window? There we go, terminal. And cat/etc/lsb-release. So basically, we're talking. So let me see. So it's just Debian. It's just your basic Debian distribution. So let's go back to the website here just for laugh. Control Alt. like I said, nothing jumps out at me here that says that this is about Linux, a derivative from Debian Linux made up entirely of free software as a core building block of financial clouds. Linux aims to deliver a robust and reliable solution to fulfill that need. Contribute to the project. Macronodes Australia. Project plan. Branching out Linux repository alongside Debian, adding support, blah, blah, blah. Installation, visualization, case studies. There are no case studies that I can see at the moment. So it's cool. It's a like I said, I actually like the way that it's presented, the screen that it uses to present it, but nothing about this jumps out at me and says anything about that says anything about fintech. So I don't know. I don't know what to say other than the fact that yes, I think it looks very nice. It's actually a really clean, nice looking interface. Minimalist in many ways, but it looks good. I like it. But honestly, I have no idea what it has to do with the financial industry, or in this case, blockchain-focused applications. So maybe we'll have to try to find that out before we meet again. Maybe I should reach out to the Linux people and find out just where it is they're headed with this thing, because it's a neat idea, but I'm not getting a feel for it. Anyway. Let's leave it at that for today. I'm going to close this up and just remind you of the fact that you can go later on and check this out on youtube.com/freethinkeratlarge. And if you go here, remember there's going to be a subscribe button here. If you haven't already done it, please subscribe. Please share. Remind other people that this place exists. And please join me next Tuesday on Cooking with Linux Without a Net. But please like, subscribe, tell other people about this, all that stuff. We'll talk to you later, and just go back to my OBS window. Where's my OBS window? Where have I put my OBS window? Oh, there it is. All right, this is my OBS window. So there you go. So until next time, cheers.